Long ago, in a powerful kingdom surrounded by rivals, there lived a young strategist named Adrian. Adrian was not a warrior, he did not carry a sword, and he had never stood on a battlefield. The soldiers did not admire him, and the generals did not respect him. To them, power came from a strength, courage, and the ability to defeat an enemy in combat. But Adrian believed something different. He believed the greatest victory was the one where no battle ever had to happen. One quiet morning, a messenger arrived at the palace gates with terrible news. A rival kingdom had begun marching toward the capital with a massive army. Their soldiers were known for their brutality, and their general had conquered many lands before. Fear quickly spread through the royal court. The king immediately summoned his war council. Generals gathered around a large wooden table, their voices filled with urgency. "We must gather every soldier we have," one general said. "We must meet them on the battlefield before they reach our walls," said another. "If we show strength, they will fear us." The room filled with confident voices and loud plans for war. Then the king turned his attention toward Adrian, who had been standing quietly near the back of the room. "What do you think we should do?" the king asked. The room fell silent. Many of the generals smirked, expecting another strange theory from the young strategist who had never fought a day in his life. Adrian stepped forward calmly. "We should not fight them," he said. Laughter exploded across the room. One of the generals slammed his fist against the table. "They are marching toward our capital," he shouted. "And you suggest we do nothing?" Adrian shook his head. "I did not say we should do nothing," he replied quietly. "I said we should not fight them." The king leaned forward, curious. "Explain." Adrian slowly walked toward the large map hanging on the wall. "Their army is powerful," he said. "Their soldiers are trained. Their numbers are greater than ours." The generals nodded proudly, believing this confirmed their argument for war. But Adrian continued. "However, strength does not win wars," he said. "Belief does." The room grew quiet again. "Armies do not fight with their swords first," Adrian said. "They fight with their minds." The king watched him closely. "So what is your plan?" he asked. Adrian paused for a moment before answering. "We make them believe they have already lost." The next morning, something unusual happened. Instead of preparing the city for war, the kingdom did something no one expected. They opened the city gates, wide open. No guards stood at the entrance, no soldiers waited on the walls, no defenses were visible anywhere. Life inside the city continued as if nothing had happened. Merchants sold goods in the marketplace. Children ran through the streets laughing. Farmers carried their harvest into town. When the enemy scouts approached the city, they stopped in confusion. They expected fear. They expected preparation. They expected soldiers ready to defend the walls. Instead, they saw a peaceful city with its gates completely unprotected. The scouts rushed back to their camp and reported what they had seen. "The gates are open," they said. The enemy general frowned. "Open? Yes? No guards? None?" The general stared at the horizon, deep in thought. "This is a trap," he said slowly. The next day, the invading army moved closer to the city. Again, they saw the same strange sight. Open gates, calm citizens, no sign of defense. The soldiers began whispering among themselves. Why would they leave their city unprotected? Maybe they are hiding an army somewhere. Maybe they know something we don't. Doubt slowly began spreading through the enemy ranks like a quiet poison. Their general hesitated. He had conquered many kingdoms before, but none had ever greeted him with such a strange confidence. Meanwhile, inside the palace, Adrian sat peacefully in the royal garden playing a quiet game of chess with the king. "Are you not worried?" the king asked him. Adrian moved a chess piece across the board. "Very," he replied calmly. The king looked surprised. "You do not appear worried." Adrian smiled slightly. "Because Warrior belongs in their camp," he said. "Not ours." 3 days passed. The enemy army waited outside the city walls, watching carefully. But they did not attack. Every hour that passed made their uncertainty grow stronger. Their soldiers began imagining hidden traps, secret weapons, and unseen armies waiting behind those open gates. Finally, the enemy general made his decision. The city is too dangerous, he told his commander. No enemy behaves this calmly unless they are absolutely certain of